focus is on communication and oral communication. Last semester, you had mostly written communication. The focus was on written communication, written writing skills. So now this time we will be focusing on the oral communication. So now let us start with what do you mean by communication? What do you understand by communication? Can anybody just define what is communication? Yes, students?
The exchange of data between multiple users.
Yes. So you transfer of information, transfer of data from one point to the other point is basically communication. And why is communication important and more important nowadays? Of course, always at all times communication
We
is.
cannot physically contact each other, still we can share the data.
Yeah. So now if we are able to communicate with each other, so even when we are not face off, we don't see each other, but still we are able to communicate with each other. So this is, I mean, communication is very important in every field, everywhere. So without communication, you cannot move on. And nowadays, if you want to do well in your profession, your career, or wherever you are, so communication is, I mean, very, very important. So without communication, that will become a mental block. It is a block and is a handicap if you are not able to communicate. You have to overcome that communication barrier. Otherwise, you may not do well wherever in your profession or at the personal level, wherever, at your family level, wherever you are, you cannot do well unless you have good communication skills. Okay, so let us start the subject now. Okay, so 1 minute, let me share. So can you see something on the screen? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So now we are going to talk in general about communication, and then we will go into verbal, non-verbal communication, the different forms of it and all that. We'll go into detail. So first of all, as you said, what is communication? So communication is originally it has come from a Latin word communico, communico or communicare. And what does this word communico mean? It means to share. So communication basically means when you share your ideas or your messages or information from one person to the other, then that is what is called as communication. Okay, the exact definition is of communication is, I think, I don't know if I can highlight it. I don't know. Just the cursor, if I see, I think you can see, isn't it? Once if I show like this, communication means the transfer of ideas, feelings, plans, messages, or information from one person to another. And communication is considered effective only when it gets the desired action or response. So if I just say something and I speak something and I think that I have communicated and that is the end of it, that is not right. So whatever I intend to communicate to the other person, whether it has been received in the same way by the receiver, only then it is effective communication. Sometimes why we say like this is because sometimes people write some letter or email or something they write. But if 10 people read that letter, 10 people understand it 10 different ways. So then what is the problem now? The problem is the way you have communicated. What you have communicated, there is no clarity. So there is no clarity. If people are reading, as many people read, that many different meanings they are taking out of that. So then that is not effective communication. So it should get the desired action, means desired action. What I intend to convey, that has to go to you. Then only it is effective. And also the response which I get from the other person, that also should be desired, the desired response what I'm expecting. Only then it is right communication. Okay, so this is about basically what is communication, the definition of communication. So now let us move on and just explore more about all this. So what is the process of communication? So if you can see this diagram, I hope you can see this diagram. So in this diagram, it is quite clear the process of communication. So the communication, how does it move? It is a small, information encoded or sent by the sender to the receiver. A message or information sent by the sender to the receiver through a channel or through a medium. Through a medium, when it is sent, the receiver receives that information and he again gives back a feedback to the sender. So this is a cycle. As you see, the sender gives an information through a message, and this message passes through a channel or medium and it goes to the receiver. Receiver again gives back the feedback relevant for the message, and that feedback again goes back to the sender, and this completes the cycle. This completes the one cycle. Okay, so from the sender through a channel, a message goes to a receiver and the receiver sends a feedback and back. So this is the process of what is a process of communication. So now this communication will go smoothly if everything is in place, means the medium or the channel is in place, then the information will pass through this cycle. But if suppose the channel or the medium is not proper, then this message will not move. It will not go. It is quite obvious also. Like a small example is, suppose I'm saying something, but there is lot of interference, lot of noise in between. So then the other person cannot hear what I'm saying. Or if my tone is very low, or you have a hearing problem. So then in either case, what is going to happen is the message will not reach the receiver properly. So there can be a hindrance of noise or some interference, and otherwise if we are doing like a virtual meeting, so then the internet, if it is not good, then this is the channel through which the communication is going on. So if the channel is not in place, then also the communication will not materialize. It will not work out. So the medium or the channel also has to be intact for the communication process to move on. So till here, is it clear, students? Yes? Is it clear? Yes, till here? Yes. So communication, what is communication? Definition of communication. And then we have discussed about the process of communication. So the main ingredients are very diagrammatically shown, and the channel or the medium also is equally important apart from the sender and the receiver. Because if the medium is not there, then the message will not go. Okay. Then some small differences between general communication and professional communication. See, our main interest is general communication. We all do it. We all are doing general communication all along. But professional communication is also what we have to look into. So how should we go about when we are into professional communication? So let us see broadly the difference. So professional communication, you have to be more extra careful and more particular about the language. You have to follow the specific formats. You have to have the objectives very clear in front of you. What is it you want to convey? Because you have to get a desired result also after your communication. So all these things you have to keep in mind. So just a broad difference between what is general communication and what is professional communication. So under general communication, the messages, the general messages like your WhatsApp and all that, general messages, But if it is a professional communication, your language will be formal and your message will be professional. A professional information message is passed on. Then the style, the how do you send it. If it is a general one, it is a very casual or informal way of communicating. But if it is a professional one, you have to be formal. The language should be formal, and what you convey should be precise and clear. So professional communication with less number of words and with more precision, you should be able to convey your ideas in a professional communication. Then the structure, for general there is no set pattern, but for a professional communication you have a set pattern of the way you have to communicate. If it's an email or a message or a memo or whatever you are going to send, or the minutes or the agenda or whatever professionally whatever you have to convey, you have to follow a definite structure and a format when you are giving professional communication. And if you come to the method in general communication, how is the method? Mostly oral. General communication mostly is oral communication. You just speak, speak to the person and convey whatever you want to convey. But when it comes to a professional communication, it can be oral or it also can be written. So oral communication can be, professional communication can be both oral as well as written. Okay. Then the audience, general audience, it can be, need not be a specific audience, but for a professional communication, you always have a specific audience to whom you are addressing. It could be your banks, your customers, your clients, or whoever it is. Then the language. The language, general communication, you need not worry, but you have to give in simple language. General communication mainly has to be in simple language because it has to be understood by everyone. But professional communication, it is not meant for general public, not for everyone to understand. So only those relevant people who have to understand. So then you can use your professional language, your technical language, or graphics, diagrammatically, or whatever you want to express, all that you can do it in a professional communication. So because the technical people or the people who are specific of that area or field, so they will follow it. So you can use the technical language. For a general communication, you have to use only very normal, simple language so that everyone can understand. So this is the basic difference between a general communication and a professional communication. Is it clear? From till here it is okay? Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So I'm just going through all the basics of communication. So first we have to go through all the basics of the features of communication, and then we will actually go into the specifics. Okay. So now, what is successful professional communication? We are focusing mainly on professional communication. We are not worried about general communication. So what is professional communication? So in the professional world, where it is related to your career or business or corporate fields, then your professional communication comes into play. So communication is a two-way process in which information is transmitted between two individuals or two organizations or one individual and an organization. See, when you are conveying an information, you are conveying on behalf of your company or your organization. So you should also keep in mind that you are not individually you are giving any information. You are actually representing and passing on information on behalf of your company or your organization. Second is, so whatever the communication, it should be a meaningful interaction between the people, and you should keep the objectives very clearly what I am trying to convey to the other person. That clarity has to be there in your language and in your communication. The role of the receiver and the sender keeps changing in the entire communication activity. Yes, the role of the receiver and sender keeps changing. Then communication can be both verbal as well as non-verbal. So what are the non-verbal ways of giving communication? So it can be sign language, body language, okay, emojis or whatever it is, or face-to-face communication with the person. So all these include your verbal as well as non-verbal forms of communication. You transmit your important thoughts, feelings. Yes, of course, you do that. And communication also is an art of persuasion. So it's a technique. So it is not just communication of the information, but you also have to be, you should be able to figure out what is the type of communication I should use so that it becomes more effective. Should I use oral communication here, or should I give a written one, or should it be a non-verbal? So what type of communication I should adopt for a situation? It is situation based. Based on that, you have to change. So please tell me, what are the situations you think an oral communication is suitable? What are the situations where oral communications are suitable, students? Can you tell? Give me one example.
General classes, meetings.
Classes. Okay, class lectures.
Business meetings.
Okay, in business meetings. Okay, very good. Yes.
Parliament.
Parliament. Okay. In a professional way, I mean, business correspondence, business communication. So in that, as you said, business meetings. Yes. Interviews. Oral communication. Okay. So if suppose some negotiations are going, some deals are to be finalized and all that. So when or if you have some problems, some complaints or something like that, and where there's some technical issues and all. So these actually writing and sending, it may take a lot of time. And I mean, where you think they cannot communicate effectively and fast. So there you go for a oral communication. But oral communication is not recorded, or which cannot be shown as a proof, and which cannot used again and again. So then in such situations you have to go for a written communication, where things have to be documented and have to be kept in place. Then you go for a written communication. Okay, very good. So importance of communication, we cannot speak less about communication. Nowadays, if you see when you go for the jobs in the job market, the first thing they see is how you are able to communicate. Because only if you have good communication skills, you can tell how much knowledgeable you are, what is the knowledge you have, what is the technical expertise you have, and how well you can, you cannot express yourself or showcase yourself unless you have good communication skills. So communication is very, very important as your technical knowledge also. Technical knowledge is definitely important, but if you have to express that, you need to have your communication skills. So there are a variety of reasons why communication is important. So now just let us go through all these points also once. So first is growth. So under this, what he means is, nowadays we have big companies, and the companies, they have a lot of branches. They may be having branches in Delhi, Bombay, Calcutta. In different places they may have businesses and one headquarters in one place. So how is the head office going to manage and communicate with all the other branches? So it has to coordinate the activities of all the branches and monitor everything. So how is this possible? Only through exchange of information. So whatever your activities, they have to be exchanged on a day-to-day basis. So their communication is very, very important. So if you want to, in an organization, when there are a lot of branches and head office, and if it's a multinational company, from it is there in different countries, so how they are able to communicate with each other. So their communication is important. Next, complexity. So what do you mean by complexity? And even if your office is in one place also, within an organization also, there are multiple people, so many people working there, and there are so many departments there. So if you have planning, sales, advertising, finance, accounts, production, so there are so many different departments. And now all these departments have to be coordinated, and the work has to be distributed, and somehow the whole process has to be streamlined. So how is that possible? So all this coordination within an organization also, it has to happen only when there is effective communication. If there is no communication between the various departments of the company, then that company will go nowhere. All departments, they have to work hand in hand, and they should have clarity about where they are going, where they are heading, what are their goals, and what is their own duties, responsibilities, how they should carry them out, what is to be done. That has to be there. So unless that type of coordination and communication is not there, the organization cannot work. Then the next is competitiveness. So now this is a age of competition. There is a lot of cutthroat competition for every product. If there is one product like tea, there are 100 companies who are selling tea, manufacturing or producing. So then all these companies, they have a lot of competition within themselves, and they have to create more and more customers, and they have to attract the customers, and they have to retain the customers. So they have to do some advertising, they have to do marketing. So marketing means what? Communication only. So definitely you have to have good communication if you have to market your products outside. So salesmanship is a primary art. I mean, for a salesman, the primary weapon for him is his communication, his art of communication. Okay, so that is about advertising, branding, and telling about your product to the customers, to your clients. All these is requires communication. The next subheading is harmony. See, now in an organization, there are different stakeholders. There are a lot of people, a lot of pressure groups are there. Say, suppose if we take a college, suppose our college is there, our institution is there. Okay, so now, hello students, are you here? Are you listening? Or I'm just going on?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, others also students, are you all there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, very good. So then now suppose our own college say. So now you have different people involved in this institution. One is the students groups, then the faculty are there, then you have the non-teaching people are there, parent community is there. Then there are regulatory bodies are there, the Ministry of Education and the government or the community in general. Okay, or there are UGC and all these, so many management, so many regulatory bodies, all these are there. Now all these are different, they have their own objectives and goals. So all these people have to be in coordination. So unless there is coordination between all these groups, the company cannot work. Okay, so this requires lot of persuasion, negotiation, And for this, again, what is required is communication. So how you are able to handle different pressure groups, how you are able to handle different types of people and get things done. So there, communication is very, very important to maintain harmony. And of course, cooperation, understanding between all the people involved, all the stakeholders of a company or an institution. So all that cooperation can happen only through communication. Unless there is no proper communication, the companies do not work. You see, sometimes the employees, the people who belong to a institution or a company themselves will be doing negative propaganda. They are doing negative propaganda about their own company. Yes, so then this type of negativity also has to be brought into control. Otherwise, the organization cannot grow. Now let us see some more points here. So where professional communication is involved. So for professional communication in advising. So what do you mean by advising? See, now a person will not be knowledgeable about everything. So if you are a technical, if you are a computer professional, you may be knowing only about your computers, your computer languages. You may not be knowing about advertising. You may not know about taxation. Okay, so then so many other areas, accounting. So all these some areas are there which you may not know. So how will you know? You have to take the help of someone else. So if you are in a company and these all are required, then you have to take the help of some expert advice from others to run your company or the company in general. Or if new employees join, juniors join. So usually in organizations, it's a float, new people keep coming, old ones keep leaving. So then the junior ones have to be trained. They have to be advised what to do, how to do, what is that, they have to be supervised at how to do the work, what they have to do. So this type of communication also, this also involves professional communication. Counseling. Sometimes employees, they have their own personal problems. So then if they have their problems, counseling is required. We have counseling even for students. So if it is a college or a school, we have counselors for the students. Or even for employees, there are counselors, student counselors or employee counselors. So they counsel them and tell them what best is the to be done to restore physical and mental health. Giving orders. So many people may think that being in a responsible position means if you are a boss, you are only going to give orders and others are just simply they will be doing the work. But it is not so easy. So whatever orders you are giving, they should be clear enough that the person who is doing, he should have clarity about what he is going to do. If your orders are not clear, then the work also will be like that. So you will not get the desired work which you want from them. It all depends on how well you communicate, how well you give the proper orders, what instructions you give to the person. Based on that only they are going to work. And you should give the instructions in such a way that you should be clear about whether the job has to be done immediately or maybe after a week, or you can take little time. That type of emergency, urgency of the job, if you are not able to communicate, then that job will not be done. People will not take it seriously. You have to keep following and also tell them that by this time I need it. So unless if you are not able to give those proper instructions, then that work will not be done. If the work is not done, then it will affect the work and it will also affect the growth of the company. Okay.